Reality TV on your PS3. Darksiders gets another go, and life after Halo Reach. A direct sequel, perhaps? Find out today here on Inside Gaming for February 13th, 2010. Welcome back to the symposium of your life. This is Inside Gaming, the Mecha Death Squad of entertainment. Though spasmodic at times, here we like to run down a little old thing we like to call the news. Smack 'em a bitch up. The world's funniest joke starts off with the news that a small group of people will be competing for the bottom of the totem pole entertainment industry as a game tester. The joke gets even better when you find out that the people judging the show consists of a failed actor, an exiled Sony blowhard, and someone who worked on the PlayStation Home. The punchline rolls in about the part where you realize this will all be aired for us to view and laugh at on a weekly basis. February 18th, you cannot get here soon enough. I'm excited. On the sadder side of the PS3 news last week was the speculation of Mass Effect 2 coming to a PS3 sometime this year. For those of you who are all like, what, let me explain. Some elite hackers found some code on the Mass Effect 2 disc containing the hex line PS3. Yes, this would actually be great if it meant anything. Too bad this happened with Mass Effect 1 2 years ago. BioWare even came out and schooled all of us, saying that the Unreal Engine is cross-platform, hence the PS3 code. Mass Effect is for the PC and the Xbox 360. Lockdown! Oh crap, lockdown? That's when the lights go out and the rape begins! Speaking of rape, 4 years ago it was strongly rumored that Halo 3 would be called Halo Forerunner. Obviously that didn't happen. But with the recent release of Halo Legends, some new tidbits have given way to possible hints at a new sequel starring the Master Chief. Those of you who have seen the legendary ending to Halo 3 may remember an unknown planet revealing itself only slightly. Now, if you study the homeworld of the Forerunner shown here with maybe a telescope, you might notice this giant symbol that is kind of standing out. Looking back at the legendary ending from Halo 3, we see a similar pattern. And based on this footage of JFK's assassination, there were clearly two shooters and a beaver on the grassy knoll. So, what does all of this conspiracy crap add up to besides a bad Oliver Stone flick? Well, besides revealing the possible location of the next Halo title, I think it is now safe to call Halo 4... wait for it... Halo Forerunner. Think about it. Halo Forerunner. It's gonna happen. And finally, during their fiscal party, THQ let it be known that Red Faction, Darksiders, and Saints Row would all be getting sequels sometime down the line. All I have to say is... thank you. I'm so happy. Let's take some Cry Like a Man first looks, shall we? In case you didn't know, Dante's Inferno got a bit of censoring during last week's Super Bowl. Thankfully, we here at Inside Gaming have the complete unedited version. Check it out, it's just the ending, it's not a big deal. You might think that Kingsmith would sound more like King's Mouth, but sadly it does not. Oh yeah, and here's a new in-game Secret World trailer. Enjoy. Metro 2033 is looking better every time it pokes its little head out to play or scare me. What's even scarier is that this game is coming out in like 2 months. It's like Fallout 3 in Russian and arriving in half a year before New Vegas. Sweet. Look, I have nothing to say about the all-new trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog Part 4. I don't care that it's finally going back to its 2D roots, or that Sonic is the only playable character. Okay, I know this is going to disappoint me in some way. I don't know, but it's probably going to involve a pair of tweezers and some lubrication. Mecha Death Squad, activate!
Activate the flavor!
And lastly, we, just like the rest of the Art Deco-loving world, got our hands on the all-new BioShock 2. And while I'm here, maybe I'll share some of my thoughts. Or not. Okay, I will. First of all, this game has one of the coolest openings by far that I've ever seen in a video game to date. It basically takes the climax from the first game and flips it on its head. Literally. Now, I had some concerns personally when they first released some of the info for the game. We found out that you would be one of the first Big Daddy prototypes, but the game would take place 10 years after the first game. Confusing? Yes. Thankfully, all of these questions and more are addressed within the first 12 minutes of the game, so have no worries. Now, as many of you know, I've already let it be known what my stance is on graphics. Gameplay first, pretty moving pictures later. And it's here where BioShock 2 has a very interesting dilemma. Don't get me wrong, the game still looks very pretty running on the Unreal 3 engine, but up close things start to look a little bit pixelated and get a little blocky. But just like the first game, I can easily forgive any of the minor issues because of the overall art style. I mean, really, there are so few titles that take the Art Deco meets sci-fi approach, places the game entirely underwater, and does it well. In fact, I can only really think of two. From the original artwork to the sea life outside, everything bleeds outrageous production quality and really does immerse you in the world of Rapture. From the gameplay perspective, things have been changed ever slightly, and in my professional opinion, for the better. Rather than switching from a plasmid power to a projectile weapon, you are now in constant state of dual wielding. The overall feeling makes you feel a bit more powerful than the first title, but in the context of the character, it makes total sense. So far from what I've played, the story is pretty solid. From the first cutscene to the hallways of Rapture, you're always in a constant state of what the hell is going to happen next. It's a pretty impressive accomplishment since we've been to this underwater dystopia before, and it still feels like uncharted territory. Now, what's especially new here is the first edition of the BioShock multiplayer. Rather than a quick menu boot up, you actually enter a physical apartment. It's here where you retrofit your selected character and get introduced to all of the underwater mayhem. From here, you enter your submersible and head off to the battlefield. There's a handful of options ranging from your typical free-for-all to deathmatch and even a CTF mode that uses the little sister as the flag. You can select loadouts for your character using different weapons, plasmids, and other perks. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's a nice addition, and it might detract you from Modern Warfare 2 for maybe a day or two. Now, overall, BioShock 2 is a worthy successor to a game whose footsteps were nearly impossible to follow in. No, it's not the world's most perfect game, and yes, there's the additional slow-loading texture, and people might not find the story as engaging, but the pros here far outweigh the cons. For this return to Rapture, I would say that I am more than happy to see it all again, especially from this all-new perspective. Let's check out what you had to say.
Please hang up and try again.
First up, Peter Pete asks, where the hell are the quasars? I like repetition. Dude, we just did that. Try to keep up. Next up is Musical Greg, who asks ever so kindly, do you like waffles? Waffles are great, especially with coconut syrup, but it looks like semen, so it's disgusting. And finally, a bunch of people ask, what the hell is kill cam? I don't get it. Yes, I hear you. Okay, let me explain. Machinima.com is currently looking for an additional host to help out here on our network. It's a big competition, so all you have to do to try out is submit a 2-minute video of you doing your hosting skills, kind of like what I do here. Send that video to killcam@machinima.com using Dropbox. It's very simple. In fact, it's so simple an army of ants could do it.
And despite our shies and our mash, we shall prevail to be the next host of Machinima.com!
That's going to do it for us this week. Thanks again for watching. Follow us on Twitter. We are so close to 20,000 followers. Brush your teeth, and we'll see you again on Wednesday. Ta-ta.